All right. Good morning. My name is Justin Scott, Lowell Ledger sports reporter here with a special Lowell Ledger podcast. We are here with three of the most decorated Lowell girls basketball players to ever play here at LHS. Piper Risdon, Braxcynn Baker, and Taryn Jackson. Welcome on, guys.
Hello.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll just jump in. We got three, college basketball commits here. That's, a crazy amount for one class. You guys had a lot of success here at LHS, won plenty of games. So, Piper, you start off. What was kind of your 4 years at Lowell like?
I mean, honestly, it was a really good experience here. I feel like each year we had a great group of girls to kind of work with, and I knew each year we'd kind of progress. And it helps a lot with being able to play with these girls for so long, because I've been playing with Braxcynn and Taryn since almost 5th grade. So the bond we've kind of had on and off the court, it really helps a lot.
Yeah, what's that history like? Are you all grew up in Lowell, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Braxcynn, what about you? What was your 4 years here like?
Freshman year going into when we had COVID, that was kind of tough, I felt like. But, we have a great group of girls, and our chemistry, I felt like, improved a lot over the 4 years. And being able to win that district championship was amazing and a great experience.
Yeah, well,
and, being with them all 4 years, a lot more years before that, it's just been great.
We'll definitely jump into that district championship, talk a little about that later. Taryn, what about you?
I'll agree with both of them. Going off of what Piper said, us three, our bond, early on, I feel like that really helped us bring the whole team together, because we were able to, be able to communicate with one another, and it just helped a lot with all that.
Piper, Vermont. Where did Vermont come from as far as, a commitment standpoint?
So they started recruiting me last summer, so we talked a lot, and then they ended up asking me to come on an official this past summer. So I went out there on the official, and it felt like home immediately. It felt a lot like here. The girls were all super nice, amazing. The coaching staff was great. And overall, the campus was exactly what I was looking for, a smaller Division I school that wasn't, over the top. Everything's walking distance. So it's a really nice campus, and everything out there just felt like home.
Brax, what about you with Murray State?
All right, so I went down there, I think it was my sophomore year, on an unofficial visit, and stepped on there, loved it from the start, loved the coaches, loved the players, loved the staff, everything was great. Then I went on an official visit there, and the second time was just even better, and I just knew that was my spot. And I felt like in the beginning I struggled with the distance, because I was scared to move so far away from home. But they made it feel like a family away from home, so I just knew it was the right place for me.
The men's team had a big NCAA tournament run with John Morant and everything that. Did that increase your susceptibility to wanting to go there? This is a basketball school that's gotten, they've gotten recognition.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. They have some John Morant stuff there, and he still goes there and he still gives stuff, but I think it's really cool that he went there, but he was also part of the guys' team. But, it's cool. It's really cool.
Right.
But,
Taryn, what about you in Northwood?
Yeah, so I started communicating with them my junior year over the summer, and I went on a visit. I really liked it. At first, I was kind of looking for a school that was, away from home. I didn't really know what I wanted, but then once I got out there, it kind of reminded me of Lowell, so kind of stuck with it.
It feels like there's a lot of Lowell kids going in Northwood.
Yeah, there's a lot more
recruiting.
Too? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So you're in track this spring. How's that going?
We joined late. Me and Piper did.
Okay.
It's going really good so far. It's different, for sure, but I like it.
What events do you do? I know running, of course.
Yeah, I do the 100 meter and then long jump.
Okay, Piper, what do you? What's your events?
Right now I do shot and disc, but there's a chance I might be put in the 400 or the 800. So.
Okay. And is this your first time doing track?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it in middle school. But
okay.
Oh yeah, we both did, I think.
What spurred you guys on to be I want to run this spring. I want to, do shot put and stuff this spring.
So, like, for me, it was just really random because I was on the way back from my counseling appointment. I ran the Henneke in the hallway, and he asked why I wasn't throwing this year. And I kind of told him, like, I was working and stuff. And he told me it'd be really flexible with my schedule and stuff. So I decided that it'd keep me in shape. It'd keep me not just going home and laying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up actually talking to Taryn about this because one of the coaches wanted to recruit her for running and stuff, too. So I convinced her to start with me on a random Monday. So.
And Taryn, I'm trying to remember. Did you 2 years of volleyball, or
I did 3 years.
3 years of volleyball?
Yes.
Okay. So we got a 3-year volleyball player and 2 4-year volleyball players. So you guys were on both the basketball court and the volleyball court together, pretty much your entirety of your high school career. What was the volleyball season like?
It was a lot different without Taryn. I mean. For her, we missed having her a lot this year because our trio's kind of been running for ever. So, kind of having her out of the picture, this year was a little upsetting. But I think the season went really well for us. The group of girls we had was really good, and our bond this year is better than any other season I've had in any other sport. And the coach just pushes us so hard to be the best we can. And we know, no matter what he says and, no matter how bad or how good practice is, we're all friends by the end of the day. There's no, hatred towards each other. We're all just, really close, and we can understand where everyone comes from.
No, yeah, I went to school with Jordan here, actually, and, great guy, great coach. Taryn, I'm curious, why did you decide not to go out for volleyball senior year?
So my junior year, it was, I was really not having the most fun, and I was not putting myself first, so I decided to step back from it and focus on myself and school and all that. So
yeah, and that's totally fair. Most people who go into a sport aren't going to go through all 4 years. There are various reasons why, but I think I looked at the little statistics just recently, 75% of athletes that start a sport freshman year are not finishing their senior year, and there's plenty of reasons why. Braxcynn, how did the volleyball season go for you?
I love volleyball. I feel like if basketball wasn't my sport, I'd definitely try to go for volleyball. But being with this team, from Lowell, our team is just indescribable. It was just great. I had so much fun this season, and Jordan is a coach that's gonna make you be the best version of yourself on the court and just as a person. And I think, me and Piper had a lot of fun this year, and I know that all three of us had a blast our other years, when we were all together. I feel like we were together 24/7, so we're with each other a lot. But volleyball, it's just kind of, I don't know what the word is, but basketball's my main sport, and volleyball is just a breath of deep air. So I worded that really wrong.
No,
it's just a change.
It's a lot different, and it's just, it's just great.
It's a good break from basketball.
Yeah.
I'm curious, your free throw shooting percentage is off the charts. How did you get so good at shooting free throws?
So when I was in middle school, I used to do free throw challenges, and there was, I forgot what it's called, but you'd shoot 25 free throws, and it depended on how many you had made, you get a trophy, and you move on to regionals, and you'd keep going. And I went to states the year before COVID, and I won, making 24 out of 25. And then after COVID, I was going to go to states, but it got canceled. But throughout my whole basketball career, I've just focused on free throws so much because it's they're free points. So can't really miss them. But.
It seemed like the last 2 years, especially, Coach Kent really upped the schedule to play against teams that were playing in state titles and stuff like that. How was that change in competition? How did that make you guys better the last 2 years?
I think it made us better because, although it's nice to blow teams out by, 40, it's also good to be in those competitive games where it's kind of back and forth the whole time. Not only does it get us better, especially, going to the next level, playing, a bunch of girls that are, like us, kind of, but, it helps the rest of the team grow because, next year they're going to have to go on without us, and I think with the schedule we had this year, it really prepared them for that. So I think next year they're going to be ready for a lot of the harder challenges they're going to be handled.
For sure. I think they're fun. I love when we have close games. It's not, I feel when we blow teams out, it's fun, but at the same time, it's just okay, we're beating them by so much, and then it's just not, I feel there's just no fun in, just blowing teams out, so I love playing good to competition. And then, especially, getting face guarded, it changes your whole entire game, and it changes like your whole mentality, and sometimes it like really messes with you, and you have to prepare yourself more a lot.
Yeah, I remember when Matt Beechler was going here. He went down to CMU. He got face guard all the time,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem like it would be a fun way to play basketball, but I guess that's one way to guard
Is it?
someone.
It's not fun.
No. Taryn, what about you? How do you feel like about the schedule like this
Yeah.
year, all the tournaments and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's good to have like facing that adversity, especially like for us, like we were coming in from middle school, like we had an undefeated record. We were like thinking we were the best, and then freshman year was a little different because of COVID. But then once we started facing those hard teams, it was like oh my gosh, like there's people that are better than us. So then it was like good for us to kind of be humbled, I guess.
Yeah, it was kind of like a wake up call.
Yeah, so like for us to push ourselves and then push our teammates too. So yeah.
I'm curious, who here watched the NCAA women's tournament, this year?
I watched a lot of it towards the end. I think the first beginning 64, I paid attention to, but didn't really watch the games. But once we got to the Final Four and the championship,
Yeah, I
Right.
watched a decent amount of it.
Same.
Yeah, there weren't a ton of upsets to start, but once it really got going, it was really interesting. I was more interested in the women's tournament than the men's tournament, which is, I think, a nice change of pace and great for the women's game. What do you think of, you guys are living through a moment where women's sports is really, I feel like, starting to, have just as much, as many ratings as, the men's game. What's, living in that world like?
I mean, it's nice because it makes me want to push myself more to be better, and especially going to college next year, just being able to continue to make this legacy of girls basketball a great thing. And I mean, especially watching those championship games, even now I'm sitting there just amazed at how good they are and how much it's been growing. And it just gives me a lot of hope, honestly, because I've heard so many people talking about how much better women's basketball is starting to get than men's. So
Yeah, I feel in the past, everybody's hated on women's basketball and saying it's not as good. I mean, if you go to the guys' student games and the girls, the student section is completely different. It's well, we're winning more games. Why don't we have a student section? And I mean, I guess that kind of sucks. But seeing all these girls teams winning and having so many people come, it's just awesome. I think it's amazing. It's really cool.
I love it. I personally don't like watching men's basketball just because I feel like women do the little things that don't get noticed, and then guys are just more athletic. So
They just dunk.
They just jump high, dunk. Not hating on them, but
No.
yeah.
I watched the Lakers Nuggets a little bit last night, and then I saw this thing on TikTok. This guy just critiquing everything that the Lakers did wrong last night, how lazy their defense was. It was very interesting. But when you guys were growing up, and as young little basketball players, were there high school basketball players that you looked up to? Not
No.
really.
I mean, not
really
that I
high
can
school.
think of.
High school basketball. I mean, just I would love coming to the girls' game and watching them play,
Mm-hmm.
in 6th grade, 5th grade. But
I feel I just liked watching anybody play.
Yeah.
I feel it was just cool. And then a lot of the NBA players, I was a big NBA fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel I don't know. I didn't get into basketball till a little later, 5th, 6th grade. So I feel it was more when I started playing in middle school when I started to come up and watch the high school more often. And I feel that's kind of when my love for the sport kind of grew, because I was getting to experience something different, and I knew I kind of wanted to be like them and play at that higher level.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go to the district championship game. It was against East Grand Rapids, who has been very good in the past few years. We're a little down this year, but it's still a rivalry game. They had beaten you earlier this year. It was really weird because they beat you earlier in the year. Then you came back and you beat them really by a lot. And I was I don't really know what to expect here. I think we're going to win, but I just didn't know what to expect. And you guys came out and you guys really seemed to dominate them. Brax, you might have had 20 free throws or something like that. I don't know. It seemed like you shot a lot of free throws. What was that? Take me through that game.
I feel East Grand Rapids, like you said, they're kind of our rivals. So I feel no matter what sport, we're always super competitive against them. And we're in the same situation this year we were last year. They beat us at home, and then we went over there and we beat them. So I think just kind of having that under us and taking the loss to them earlier in the season was really disappointing for us, because I know we wanted to get ranked higher in the conference and stuff and go undefeated. But yeah, that kind of lit the fire under us for that second time we played them away and districts. I mean, we've been waiting for this district championship forever, and now that we haven't had to play Rockford, that kind of let us breathe a little bit, and I think we got to play a lot of our own game and all that kind of stuff. And then Troy, who is our AAU coach as well, him beating us did not make me very happy. I don't think I said a word to him at all the whole entire season because of that first game, but it just makes it more competitive because it's kind of funny seeing him mad a little bit because he wants to beat us so bad, and he was so happy after that first time he did, but we just had to end that there at the district game.
And you mentioned Rockford, and it's just a little bit of bad luck. Like, you know, they happen to be the best team in the state, regardless of any division. Over, you know, the last 4 years, they have double our enrollment, so they're always probably going to be better than us at most sports. And we just happen to be paired with them in districts 3 straight years. And then this year, you know, it changed up a little bit, and, you know, that was good news. I would have been very curious to see how you guys faced up against Rockford. But Braxcynn, what about you as far as that East game?
Yeah, so, I mean, when we've played Rockford in the past, like, I feel like we haven't always played our best. Like, we always went into the game a little scared. So, like, getting that East game, it was like, okay, like, if we beat East, like, we're going to go on and beat Rockford. And, I mean, obviously that didn't happen, but that doesn't even matter. I felt like our East game, like, it's just a crazy feeling. I mean, holding that trophy and just, like, celebrating with everybody, it was just awesome. And, I mean, the game itself, it got really competitive. I know me and Piper had some fun that game.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, we won, and, I mean, it was just a great feeling.
There was some gamesmanship going on out there that I noticed, and I'm curious what your take on it is. When we were getting into the offense, Braxcynn, you were standing, like, in the corner, like, and so the East defender would be in the corner with you. What's the strategy there?
So, I mean, when I sit in the corner, I feel like usually it's just, like, to give myself a break, because that girl was on me like a leech. And I was just like, okay, like, I was like, please just, like, get off of me. But I feel like going in the corner is just giving me a break, because I've been running around so much. And she just followed me every single where I went. I was like, okay, like, I'm sick of you. But, I mean, that's kind of my strategy. I try not to do it, like, so much, because it just, like, then it gives her a break. But, I mean, at the same time, I kind of needed one.
It also helps, like, the team, because if her defender, and if she's out of the way, then it gives us more space. So that's also another advantage of it.
It's like now it's like a 4-on-4.
So then you have more court space, so it does help.
Taryn, what about you as far as the district championship game? I remember the student section that night. The place was packed.
Let's go. It was a fun game.
Yeah, first time. I felt like our team had a lot of confidence going in, because, I mean, that first upset was like we wanted revenge, so it really felt like we were super confident going in. We all were on the same page of what we wanted, and yeah.
So as we kind of conclude here, reflecting on the past, like, 4 years, I mean, we've got, you know, career rebounding leader, career points leader, two of the top points leaders, assist leader. You guys have been, you know, breaking all these records. You're going to leave here, and that record board's going to show a lot of you guys. What's that like, kind of leaving that legacy for the next, you know, not generation, but, like, next few teams that come up here in Lowell?
I mean, it's really nice. And I mean, like, all of these things can't be done without our team as a whole. And I think that kind of showcases, like, how well, at least, like, the three of us and whoever else was on the court with us work together. So just having those up there, like, it's not even, like, self-pride. It's just kind of a remembrance of how well we all work together. Because, like, I can't get rebounds without everyone else boxing out. Or, like, Brax can't score without everyone moving the ball and getting it to her. And Taryn can't get the assists without people scoring. So it kind of, like, all goes back to how we worked as a group.
And who were some of those teammates that really kind of stepped up this year?
I think this year was Allison, RJ, and Grayson. I mean, RJ is mainly defense. She does a lot. Hustle plays, all that stuff. And then Allison works really nice in the post and also helps with those rebounds. Then Grayson's just another good person to have on offense, get the ball moving and all that stuff. So
I know you started out really early in the year with Caledonia, really close win. I know Allison had a really, like, key rebound toward the end. Braxcynn, what about you?
I mean, I feel like it's just nice. I mean, I guess I couldn't do anything without any of these girls. Like, everybody on our team is a huge asset. I mean, it's just nice that, like, if I ever come back here, like, I'll probably see my name on the wall, and I think that's pretty unique. And I mean, it shows like how much we've worked for it. Like, I've put in hundreds of hours. Like, I can't even keep track, and it's like it kind of just showcases what I did, like, to get there.
Yeah, I hope it's like encouragement almost for them to work harder almost, but also like going off of them, like, it can't be done without, like, it's not a personal thing. It's a whole team thing, or so it takes multiple people to achieve those.
All right, and then last thing, Coach Kent stepping down from coaching, after this year. He had a great, run here at LHS. Anything you want to say about Coach?
He was a great person. I mean, it was nice to have him in the gym with us. Like, he understood basketball, he understood us, so he always pushed us really well. So it was just nice to have him around, and it was always really fun because every year, like, during Christmas, we'd go to his house, and he'd, like, make us food. So just kind of, like, all the team bonding he set up and did was really nice, too.
I feel like he knew us on, like, a good personal level, and I think that he's a really good person, and he, like, knows how to, like, talk to us, I guess. But, I mean, I think he was great.
Yeah, he definitely cared for us on and off the court, so he definitely showed that too, making sure we're okay, asking us, like, what we need, all that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say,
we
as
appreciate
awkward as those meetings can be at the end of the season, I really appreciate him. He took a lot of the input.
He did
and
a lot. Took a lot out of his life to
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah, so I'm glad he kind of gets to do his own thing now and be with his own kids.
Yeah.
And he helped us a lot get to where we are. I mean, I know I wouldn't be heading off to probably play Division I ball without him. He helped a lot with my recruiting process and stuff, so.
All right, well, awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking your valuable LHS Flex time and coming to the radio room with me. So.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
All right.